Once again, welcome back to the program. ਅੱਜ ਦੇ ਇਸ ਹੈਲਥ ਸੈਗਮੈਂਟ ਵਿੱਚ ਐਂਟੋਨੀਨਾ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਕਿ ਇੱਕ ਸਰਟੀਫਾਈਡ ਨਿਊਟ੍ਰੀਸ਼ਨਲ ਪ੍ਰੈਕਟੀਸ਼ਨਰ ਨੇ ਸਾਡੇ ਨਾਲ ਗੱਲਬਾਤ ਕਰਨਗੇ ਕਿ ਦੁੱਧ ਦੀ ਕੀ ਮਹੱਤਤਾ ਹੈ ਜਾਂ ਇਸ ਦੇ ਕੀ ਨੁਕਸਾਨ ਨੇ। ਖਾਸ ਤੌਰ ਉੱਤੇ ਭਾਰਤੀ ਭਾਈਚਾਰੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਦੁੱਧ ਦੀ ਕੰਜ਼ੰਪਸ਼ਨ ਬਹੁਤ ਜ਼ਿਆਦਾ ਹੈ ਤੇ ਅਸੀਂ ਤਾਂ ਛੋਟੇ ਬੱਚਿਆਂ ਨੂੰ ਜ਼ਿਆਦਾਤਰ ਚਾਹੁੰਦੇ ਹਾਂ ਕਿ ਹੋਮੋ ਦੁੱਧ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਉਹ ਦਿੱਤਾ ਜਾਵੇ। ਇਹ 1% 2% ਹੋਮੋ ਹੈ ਕੀ ਇਹ ਪੈਸਚਰਾਈਜੇਸ਼ਨ ਕੀ ਕਰਨੀ ਸਹੀ ਹੈ ਜਾਂ ਗਲਤ ਹੈ, ਇਸ ਦੇ ਕੀ ਐਡਵਾਂਟੇजेस ਜਾਂ ਡਿਸਐਡਵਾਂਟੇजेस ਨੇ, ਆਓ ਇਸ ਬਾਰੇ ਜਾਣਕਾਰੀ ਲੈਂਦੇ ਹਾਂ ਐਂਟੋਨੀਨਾ ਤੋਂ। Welcome to the program. Thank you. So today we'd like to know, I was just telling that in our community, especially this Indian community, we love to drink milk, and especially homo milk is much preferred, especially for those youngsters. We want them to have that milk which will help them out. So tell us in details about why milk is good or bad for us.
Okay, great question. Remember how we had a conversation with a doula who does natural birth and encourages on breastfeeding. So breast milk, depending on the producing, whether it's a human or a cow's, is nature's perfect food.
Right.
So woman's breast milk is the nature's perfect food for a human baby.
Right.
Cow's milk, glandular milk, is the best for calf. So that milk is a perfect food for a little baby cow. So the big problem we have as a society and the humans as a whole, we are the only species on the planet who drink milk from another species.
Right.
That milk is produced by a cow once she gave birth to a little baby cow, and then she produces for that little baby cow to grow to large, large weight and everything. And that milk is designed by nature for that baby calf. So when we as humans interfere, what do we have to do first of all? Well, first of all, our cows very rarely, at least in Canada, have pastured on green grass only.
Right.
They rarely get sunshine. They are they're put together in conditions, or they're raised in conditions that are usually not the best conditions, not what we used to see back home.
Right.
And so there's a big problem with raising cow's milk or dairy farms and dairy cows today what it used to be 100 years ago.
Of course.
And of course there's no old grandma sitting there getting the milk, that fresh milk that you can put in the fridge for a day or two, and then it's going to start fermenting into a fermented product that has other benefits. Today's milk is there in the store for 3 weeks, sometimes longer.
Right.
Why so? Because it has been pasteurized. So not only do we raise our cows in an environment that's absolutely unnatural to their well-being. So again, cow is a very sacred animal in Indian culture. So we're not treating it sacredly. We're not looking, we're not respecting it, we're not loving it the way we used to. And so we essentially pumping that cow's food that the cow is not meant to eat. So they're eating grains that they never ate in nature. They are definitely not in a loving environment. So they emotionally, psychologically, very stressed out.
Right.
Their babies are taken away from them. Imagine a mother whose child was taken out. So the cow is experiencing enormous amount of stress.
Right.
And it's crying. And it's sometimes the cows are crying for a month or two. And so because they're missing their baby, they're calling for their baby to be returned. And so there's lots of cortisol and stress hormones.
Okay.
So now we have a milk that's produced by a cow that's not healthily raised or taken care of. Then its baby was taken away, she's suffering, she's producing a lot of stress hormones that are in that milk. Then the cow is with a lot of antibiotics, treated with a lot of antibiotics, because they don't live in a healthy environment and they're not healthy, so there are lots of contaminations, like salmonella, the different issues. So we're treating those cows with a lot of hormones to keep producing milk, because the factory production, the dairy production farms, they want more milk so they can make more money.
Right.
So now we're treating those cows with a lot of hormones. Those hormones are one of the worst things you can do for cancers. So people that want to stay away from having cancers or have cancer, one of the worst things they can consume is milk full of hormones, because it's like cancer on steroids.
But in Canada also, do we use the hormones? Because in States, I know the cost of milk over there is less. So people have been going when the dollar was at par and getting the milk from there. Even we also used to go and get it from there, and it was written no RSBT hormone used.
Yeah.
But over here on the milk cans which we bring, there is nothing written on that.
There are hormones used both sides of the border.
Okay.
There is just specific hormone that's luckily not allowed to be used here.
Okay.
That is genetically modified. But the hormones are used on both sides, and to pump those cows, absolutely. So they produce milk continuously, and they assimilate it artificially to produce milk continuously. So no, we do use hormones in Canadian agriculture. We're just not using as many as United States.
Okay.
So there's definitely better structure or better better rules here, a little bit more.
Right, as compared to the States. But as you said, the inhumane conditions are the ones which for better production, you ought to use the hormones, otherwise you will not be having that production.
Yeah, different boosters, different hormones.
But, generally it is said with milk, there are so many essential nutrients in the milk which help you out, vitamin D and other vitamins which are essential for a body. So if you're are you not in favor of absolutely consuming milk, or the organic milk is better as compared to the...
I'm glad you brought that back into that subject, because we started with that, and I guess, what I'd like to add to this, it's nature's perfect food for when you're growing as the baby, because you don't have teeth to eat any other food. So that's nature's ways of making sure that you grow and develop, and your gut flora develops, the teeth start growing, and so the baby can eat real other food. So the problem is that right now in Canada, if you sell or buy raw milk, you'll be put in jail. So we're not allowed, the raw milk is considered to be dangerous and is outlawed. So that's the raw milk is where you have all the vitamins, nutrients, phytonutrients, all of the different fat soluble vitamins, all those different things that are supposed that again, it's like pasteurizing mother's breast milk. If you pasteurize it, what does that do? We're heating the milk until we kill everything in it. That means we kill vitamins, nutrients, phytonutrients, enzymes. So all of those things that are supposed to give us good from the milk, all the benefits of the milk, they are completely eliminated by heating this up. And sometimes there's just pasteurization, and sometimes there's ultra pasteurization principles where they heat it over 200, and so we are destroying, if there was anything good in that milk, we're destroying everything in it. Of course, the way we raise cows today, where there's lots of viruses, pathogens, bacteria, those cows are milked not by human hands, but machines. So there's lots of pus and blood. So all of that ends up in the milk. So they want to disinfect it. So they pasteurize it. But when you pasteurize it, you got rid of all the vitamins, nutrients, and enzymes. So when we're consuming it, we can't properly break down that milk. So, and actually 75% of the population are lactose intolerant, meaning they don't produce lactase, which is a proper enzyme to break down lactose as a protein.
So it's basically just the color of what we are consuming. It's just like water being
colored
taken
water
under the impression that we are having milk which is providing us nutrients and essential vitamins.
With lots of chemicals. So instead of vitamins, I have chemicals, and other agents.
Right. And my other question was, organic milk also is the same way? Is it pasteurized like the normal milk?
All of them are pasteurized. The better thing about organic is that cow has been raised in
more holistic
ways, more open environment, better nutrition.
Right. And finally, then what is the substitute? If you are not consuming milk, how to color your tea, how to feel, because that's an ingredient which everyone has in one's home.
Great question. There's lots of milks today that are available. You can go and buy coconut milk, hemp milk, almond milk, cashew milk, walnut milk, any kind of nut milks, and you can make them yourself really easily. So I highly encourage people to go and search alternatives and go like nut milks and how to make your own nut milks. You can make your own almond milk, add a little bit of vanilla in it, do whatever you want with it. There's so many different recipes. It's very easy, I promise.
Well, great. Thank you very much for this information. But I must tell you one thing. My viewers are not going to like what you have said today. Especially we get cans and cans of milk at home, and then we feed it to ourselves also and to our children in the hope that this is providing the essential nutrients what a child needs for growing up. But anyways, thank you for this information.
My pleasure.
Thank you. जो ਅੱਜ ਅਸੀਂ ਗੱਲਬਾਤ ਕੀਤੀ ਉਸ ਦੇ ਐਂਟੋਨੀਨਾ ਨੇ ਦੱਸਿਆ ਕਿ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਦੁੱਧ ਅਸੀਂ ਕੰਜ਼ਿਊਮ ਕਰਦੇ ਹਾਂ, ਖਾਸ ਤੌਰ ਉੱਤੇ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਪੈਸਚਰਾਈਜ਼ ਮਿਲਕ ਹੈਗਾ, ਇਹ ਬਿਲਕੁਲ ਇਸ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਕੋਈ ਨਿਊਟ੍ਰੀਐਂਟਸ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੈਗੇ। ਇਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਕਿਹਾ ਕਿ ਹਾਂ 100 ਸਾਲ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਜਾਂ 50 ਸਾਲ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਜਾਂ ਜਿੱਥੇ ਘਰਾਂ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਸਾਡੇ ਕੋਲ ਗਾਵਾਂ ਮੱਝਾਂ ਹੁੰਦੀਆਂ ਸੀ, ਅਸੀਂ ਆਪ ਦੁੱਧ ਚੋਂਦੇ ਸੀ, ਪਰ ਹੁਣ ਤਾਂ ਮਸ਼ੀਨਾਂ ਚੋਂਦੀਆਂ ਨੇ ਦੁੱਧ। ਤੇ ਨਾਲ ਖਾਸ ਤੌਰ ਉੱਤੇ ਇਨਹਿਊਮਨ ਕੰਡੀਸ਼ਨਸ ਜਿਹਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਇਹ ਰੱਖੀਆਂ ਜਾਂਦੀਆਂ ਨੇ, ਉਹਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਬਜਾਏ ਕਿ ਉਹ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਦੁੱਧ ਆ ਰਿਹਾ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਕੋਈ ਬੈਨੀਫਿਟ ਪਹੁੰਚਾਏ, ਉਸ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਹਾਰਮੋਨਸ ਇੰਜੈਕਟ ਕੀਤੇ ਜਾਂਦੇ ਨੇ ਜਿਸ ਦਾ ਕਿ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਨੁਕਸਾਨ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਹੈ। ਐਂਟੀਬਾਇਓਟਿਕਸ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਪਾਏ ਜਾਂਦੇ ਨੇ ਉਹ ਸਾਡੇ ਸਰੀਰ ਵਿੱਚ ਆਉਂਦੇ ਨੇ ਅਤੇ ਬਹੁਤ ਸਾਰੀਆਂ ਬਿਮਾਰੀਆਂ ਦਾ ਕਾਰਨ ਇਹ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਹੈ। ਇਸ ਵਾਸਤੇ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਕਿਹਾ ਕਿ ਸਬਸਟੀਟਿਊਟਸ ਅਵੇਲੇਬਲ ਨੇ ਦੁੱਧ ਦੇ। ਮੈਂ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਪੁੱਛਿਆ ਕਿ ਆਰਗੈਨਿਕ ਮਿਲਕ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਹੈਗਾ ਕੀ ਉਹ ਬੈਟਰ ਹੈਗਾ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਆਮ ਦੁੱਧ ਅਸੀਂ ਲੈਂਦੇ ਹਾਂ, ਅਤੇ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਕਿਹਾ ਲਿਟਲ ਬੈਟਰ, ਕਿਉਂਕਿ ਉਹਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਸਿਰਫ ਕੰਡੀਸ਼ਨਸ ਵੱਖਰੀਆਂ ਨੇ ਪਰ ਉਹ ਵੀ ਪੈਸਚਰਾਈਜ਼ ਕੀਤਾ ਜਾਂਦਾ ਹੈ। ਸੋ ਸਬਸਟੀਟਿਊਟ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਕਿਹਾ ਕਿ ਅੱਜ ਬਹੁਤ ਸਾਰੇ ਦੁੱਧ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਨੇ ਮਾਰਕੀਟ 'ਚ ਅਵੇਲੇਬਲ ਨੇ, ਤੁਸੀਂ ਆਪ ਵੀ ਘਰ ਵਿੱਚ ਬਣਾ ਸਕਦੇ ਹੋ। ਆਲਮੰਡ ਮਿਲਕ, ਕੋਕੋਨਟ ਮਿਲਕ, ਹੈਂਪ ਮਿਲਕ ਅਤੇ ਹੋਰ ਬਹੁਤ ਸਾਰੀਆਂ ਜਿਹੜੀਆਂ ਚੀਜ਼ਾਂ ਨੇ ਉਹ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਲੈ ਕੇ ਉਸ ਦਾ ਉਪਯੋਗ ਕਰ ਸਕਦੇ ਹੋ।